Hey folks, this is Rhykker with an Overwatch Sombra speculation video that ties into the likely upcoming Halloween event. Here's the too long didn't watch. Some new and old datamined assets strongly suggest that there's an upcoming Halloween event, which lends some small credence to an alleged leak that Sombra is coming very soon. That's the too long didn't watch. If you don't have time to watch the full video, that's all the key information right there. Now, for those still watching, at the end of this video, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment with your theories on Sombra, so that we can then go over them in our next Sombra video. But as for today's story, so at the end of last week, a new PTR went up. Public test realm, right? Or public test region, as they call it in Overwatch. And there was some new assets that were data mined from it. Redditor Dixon Salem data mined this image here of Junkrat. He claims that this image is consistent with the Brawl mode images, and thinks that this suggests an upcoming Brawl mode. Now, if you look at the image, it seems to depict Junkrat laughing maniacally, as he's wont to do, while wearing goggles, surrounded by electricity, and some people have pointed out that his rip tire, it seems that the spikes have been replaced by what they've called Tesla coils. I'm not sure that I'm seeing them as Tesla coils, but for what it's worth, that's what people are saying. Nonetheless, between the goggles, the electricity, the look on his face, it all looks very mad scientist. And people are saying that they think this might hint at a Dr. Frankenstein skin. And you can see the obvious similarities here. A little bit of trivia, because this is still something commonly misunderstood. Frankenstein is the name of the scientist. The monster is called Frankenstein's monster, but a lot of people falsely call the monster Frankenstein. So people are speculating that this Dr. Frankenstein skin for Junkrat is going to be his Halloween event skin. And this is where our alleged leak comes in. Now, I get a lot of people sending me alleged leaks for different Blizzard games, you know, well, Diablo 4 this, and new Overwatch character that, and for the most part, I disregard most of these. They seem to have no credibility whatsoever, and if I can't somehow verify or corroborate that this is somehow true, there's no point in even relating that to you guys or giving it any more thought. So on September 14th, which was a full 2 weeks before this photo here was data mined, I received a YouTube comment that just seemed like another one of those, you know, fake leaks. The comment read, "My friend's dad works for Overwatch." That's a wonderful start. And his dad said Sombra will be released very soon, and there will be a Halloween update with new skins and victory poses. Example, Roadhog will be Frankenstein, and Junkrat will be Scientist Frankenstein. Now, I know, guys, legit sources seldom start with "my friend's dad." And like I said, at the beginning, I didn't even give this a second thought. It was only when I saw that data mine picture that I remembered this comment and considered the possibility that maybe there is some truth to it. I mean, this is either a legitimate leak, because it is within the realm of possibility, that, however unlikely, and what is the expression? When you eliminate the impossible, whatever's left, however improbable, must be the truth. So, as unlikely as a scenario might be, we should consider all possibilities, and it is possible that someone at Blizzard leaked something. So this is either a legit leak or a lucky guess. In which case, we have to examine how likely is it for this to be a lucky guess. Well, it's almost certain that Blizzard will have a Halloween event. They have Halloween events for their other games like World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm, and we've already had one seasonal event in Overwatch, the Summer Games. So it should come as a surprise to absolutely no one if we do get a Halloween event for Overwatch. Further, we have more concrete evidence in the form of data mined voice files. Some of these go back a few months.
Trick or treat. My Halloween costume? Cyborg Ninja.
Oh, scary.
As you can see, those clearly hint at a Halloween event, but you can argue, well, that was months ago. Maybe those were just old files and they decided to scrap the event. Well, as of very recently, YouTuber Liquid Gaming data mined some more voice files.
Trick or treat! Boo!
Trick or treat. Yoi Halloween or trick or treat.
So this all but confirms that we have a Halloween event incoming. So the leak saying we have a Halloween event is nothing surprising, nothing important there. And given what Blizzard did with their summer games, they added new skins, new victory poses. Him saying that the Halloween event will also have that, Not a shocker either. So far, this leak has said nothing that couldn't be guessed by anyone. But then that last bit where he predicts the Dr. Frankenstein skin for Junkrat and associated Frankenstein's monster skins for Roadhog, that's the only place where maybe there's something to this leak. If I were making this hoax, then I would have gone for the low-hanging fruit. I would have guessed, if I had to pick 2 characters to give Halloween costumes to, I would have said Mercy Witch and Viking Torbjorn. I would have said those skins are coming. Why? We actually have evidence that this might be something true. We've seen a picture from Blizzard of Mercy and Torbjorn in their Halloween costumes as a witch and a Viking. That would give this hoax just enough legitimacy to make it seem possible, while also maintaining the benefit of the doubt as to whether it's bullshit or not. But he instead goes out on a limb and guesses the Frankenstein skin, which we have no concrete evidence for. Blizzard has never hinted at anything like this. And again, this comment was made 2 full weeks before he could have possibly seen that datamined image. At this point, we have to ask ourselves, is it impossible for him to have guessed that it would have been Frankenstein Junkrat? Not impossible, no. And not super unlikely either, because over the past few months, I've seen crop up a couple times ideas for a Halloween event in which people have said, oh, Dr. Frankenstein Junkrat and Frankenstein's monster Roadhog skins. So if there had been no previous mention of these skins on the internet ever before, then I'll be taking this leak a lot more seriously. But as it stands, it can go either way. Now, you're asking, why put so much focus on analyzing the legitimacy of this alleged leak? Well, if this leak is true, then, as he says, Sombra is coming very soon. And this would dismiss a lot of theories on Sombra, like that she's not actually going to be a character, but just someone who keeps giving us information, or that the ARG will go on for months and months and months. ARG! Unfortunately, we can't know for sure. And again, any leaks that begin with, my friend's dad, need to be taken with a high degree of suspicion. Okay, now, if you just came for facts, that is the end of the information. The rest of this video will just be geeking out on theories and speculation, busting some theories, proposing some theories, and specifically I want to speculate on release dates for Sombra and the Halloween event. So first off, let's bust 2 myths. The first myth slash theory that it ties into is that Overwatch updates only happen on Tuesdays, and thus Sombra will definitely release on a Tuesday. If we look at Overwatch's timeline, this seems like it is legitimate. Overwatch released May 24th, Tuesday. The first PTR, the public test region, testing competitive mode, released on June 21st, Tuesday. The PTR ended a week later, June 28th, Tuesday. And Season 1 started on that same Tuesday. The second PTR, featuring Ana, went live on July 12th, Tuesday. The PTR ended and Ana released on live servers July 19th, Tuesday. Summer Games started on August 2nd, Tuesday. Now, it definitely seems like we're seeing a pattern here. And for a long time, we believed that Tuesday would be the days that anything new in Overwatch would happen. In fact, across most of their games, Blizzard uses Tuesday as their patch day. But it was around August that things started to become a little bit more random. The PTR testing Season 2 went up on August 17th, a Wednesday. Season 1 ended August 18th, a Thursday. The last new map, Eichenwalde, was added to the PTR August 22nd, a Monday. The Summer Games ended the 23rd, a Tuesday. But then PTR ended and Season 2 started on September 1st, a Thursday. And the last PTR just went up on September 22nd, a Thursday. As you can see, Blizzard no longer sticks to their Tuesday schedule. So while it may be more likely that she releases on a Tuesday, it could be any day. Now, something to note is that the rising percentage on momentincrime.com looks like it's going to end around October 16th or 17th. The 17th would be a Monday, so maybe something will happen on Tuesday the 18th. If a new PTR goes up on the 18th, then it's highly likely that it will include something Sombra related. Either we'll be able to play as Sombra, that'll be her first showing in the PTR, or we're going to get some kind of major Sombra clue, a continuation of the ARG. The second myth we're going to bust is that the PTRs in Overwatch last 1 week, therefore it'll be a week between Sombra appearing on the PTR and releasing to the public. The reason people think this is because the first PTRs, the first two, lasted precisely 1 week. However, the third PTR, which started in August, broke that rule and lasted something like 2.5 weeks. So again, it is slightly more likely that the PTR with Sombra on it will last 1 week before she releases, but it could potentially be longer. Tangentially, another theory we'll bust here is the theory that she will release on October 23rd, or that anything major will happen on October 23rd. Again, 2-3, that number is reoccurring in all of Sombra's clues, and we currently have 22 heroes, so it is believed she will be the 23rd hero, and people want to find any and all significance towards the number 23. Well, October 23rd is a Sunday. I could almost guarantee you that nothing's gonna happen. She definitely will not release on the 23rd, nor will she appear on the PTR on the 23rd, because Blizzard doesn't work on Sundays. Their PTRs, their patches never go live on weekends. It's gonna be a weekday. Maybe they could set a clue to go live on the 23rd, but again, it's pretty unlikely. Generally, when Blizzard deploys things, they want to make sure they have their staff there in case something goes wrong so they can fix it immediately. Now, another thing to consider is the Blizzcon factor. So every year, or just about, Blizzard has its annual convention, right? Blizzcon. They tend to make big announcements or big reveals at Blizzcon. So here's the thing. If Sombra releases or is revealed before Blizzcon, then what are they going to show us at Blizzcon? It really makes perfect sense for Blizzard to save the Sombra reveal for Blizzcon. That's the most hyped thing in Overwatch right now. It would be a big reveal, and if that comes out before, then what are they going to follow up with at Blizzcon? It could be new maps, but will new maps be as exciting as a new character? Could be a new game mode, maybe. But overall, it's probably more likely that they're saving the Sombra reveal for Blizzcon. Now again, Blizzcon is November 4th and 5th, which is a Friday and a Saturday. This could mean that Sombra will be playable for the first time at Blizzcon, and the PTR could go live early the following week, and then everyone will be able to play Sombra. So the timeline we can be looking at is Sombra first revealed on November 4th, Sombra first playable on the PTR on November 8th, and Sombra released to the public November 15th, 1 week later. The 8th and the 15th are Tuesdays, because while yes, we did debunk that it has to be a Tuesday, it's still slightly more likely to be a Tuesday. And we have to guess someday. And this might be right as the Halloween event ends. As for the Halloween event speculation, the World of Warcraft Halloween event last year ran from October 18th to November 1st, 2 weeks. In Heroes of the Storm, the Halloween event, it was a bit of a mixed bag. One part of the event lasted 1 week, the other part lasted 2 weeks. So it started October 27th, ran until November 3rd for one part of the event, and November 17th for the full event to be over. So I'm guessing that for Overwatch this year, we might see something like October 25th to November 15th will be the duration of the Halloween event. Again, those dates are Tuesdays. But that's all just speculation. So, what are your thoughts, folks? Leave comments on all your theories of anything Sombra related. Be it about who she is, be it about the release date, anything lore related, whether she'll be an event. You guys have been sending in awesome ideas, but I want to consolidate them here. And I want you guys to go read other people's theories, upvote, and in our next video, I'm going to go over some of the most upvoted theories left as comments on this video. Special shout out to Rat Maniac. Your wife congratulates you on your first wedding anniversary. Your wife contacted me in early September. She said you've been together 7 years. That's awesome. And your anniversary was on September 25th. So all the best to the two of you. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. Final reminder that you got like 1 day left to get your name on the Rhykker Raiders t-shirt. And subscribe to join Rhykker Raiders to stay informed of all things Sombra. 4123 is an R, 22 is an @sign, and hey, look at that, Sombra. You keep going to translate the whole thing, and you get this phrase here, which seems to be leet speak for Sombra, information is power,